Wonderful game of football from the biggest club in Africa. Man, that was nice. That was nice, actually. That was really, 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 really nice. Um, this game was definitely a game of two halves for me. First half, I remember after the first half, I was ranting quite a bit on the live. We're doing a live. And shout out to everyone who came through on the live. Really did appreciate everyone who came through with a follow and a like. Thank you so much. But I remember after the first half, I was so livid, man. I was quite angry. Why I was angry? I was angry because we could not break down the low block, and this is a recurring theme in the Orlando Pirates faithful, where we control everything in and around our box. We control the middle field, moving up towards the opposition box in our attack, from our defense to our middle field to our attack. But when it comes to the final third, in and around the opposition's box, there's this lack of creativity that we can't penetrate, or we can't seem to break down low block. What we then do is we revert back to recycling the ball, where we either lose the ball or we go all the way back. Then it gives them a time to regroup in the center, which makes it difficult for us now to go forward and start the attack again. Or sometimes what we would do as Orlando Pirates, we would take a shot out of the box. That really frustrated me in the first half. And it's something that we really need to take care of as Buccaneers. Something that we really need to go and fine-tune a bit. The one thing that I do think would be a good thing for us is if we can convert our early chances. That is the other thing that we don't do as Orlando Pirates. We don't convert our early chances, where we get an opportunity to really set a tone of the game, but we don't convert that chance. Once we start to score earlier in games, this is my thinking, and this is really how I feel what would happen. Once we start to score earlier in games is where we would have more control over the game. A classic example of this is when we scored the first goal early in the second half from a set piece. And it's one thing that we need to use more as a weapon, is to score from set pieces earlier. So once we score earlier, we force the opposition to come out of their shell and really compete. Because what is happening is they want to sit back and wait for the ball and then hit us on the counter-attack. Something that happened against Marumo Gallants, something that happened against Sekhukhune United. It always happens around the 70th minute. But once we score, and we almost suffered the same thing against Stellenbosch United. But once we start to score earlier, it forces the opposition to play to our game plan, towards our strengths. Once they concede early, it forces them to come to us, where we now have more control because our defense is good. We can play through a press. We've got the guys who can do the transition. We've got fast, pacey wingers. We've got technical players in Mbulo and Rele. We've got Apollos who's got a good pass on him. We've got Moremi. We've got Nemtamjele. We've got Mbata, who's solid in the midfield. We've got Mabasa, who can play through the middle. You know, we've got all of these players that can just make things happen. But I think the missing link is when we play against teams who unfortunately will always sit back, because we've got such a good middle field, we've got such a good defense, and our attack is so potent. I'm happy about the second half. We scored early. It's a classic game of two halves. We managed to really, shall I say, really control this game in the second half, so much so that China could have easily sat on a beach somewhere in Durban and just pick his nose or sip some juice. You know, he really had a really good time. I don't think we were ever under pressure in this game. We were cruising very nicely. And one thing I want to say is that thank you to the Buccaneers for landing safely chest pains in Naturana. Siyabonga bafethu. Thank you so much. Wonderful stuff. Guys, no man. Thank you so much again for everyone who came through with a like and a follow. I really do appreciate it. We will be live again on Tuesday evening, and then again next week, Saturday. For now, that's it from my side. This was a really good display of football. Wonderful stuff. Thanks, bye.